Good evening, everyone. Today is November the 2nd, 2021. Most gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you, God, for allowing us to see yet another day. Thank you, God, for waking us up, for your mercy, for your grace, for most of all, God, for your love. I ask you, God, that you will bless this broadcast as well as the views. I ask you, God, that you just keep us covered with your precious blood, oh God, as we enter this final trimester of this year. I ask you, God, that you will just work in our families, oh God, be with everyone that's going through, oh God, all those that are having particular procedures on this week, oh God, we ask you, God, that you will keep them, comfort them, be with all the doctors that are involved, as well as all those that are traveling. We ask you, God, for your traveling mercies, oh God. We ask you all these things in the mighty and matchless name of Jesus Christ, in name we pray. Amen. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. We're doing our first of the month freestyle session. I'm going back and forth. I'm looking at the comments from the pre-show announcement. You guys have already started chiming in and being a part of the show already before we even got live. As usual, I want to open up with the Born Day shout outs. Let's see. I want to say happy Born Day to my man, Majid Shaheed, the Grill Master. I want to say happy Born Day to my cousin, Rennie, who celebrated his birthday on his last week. Love you, cuz. Happy Born Day, Rennie. The great Pastor Ronald Wilder, who celebrated out in Tennessee. Happy Born Day, man of God. Holly Ketchens, beautiful girl I went to high school with. My man Michael Hughley, Keisha Williams, Suzanne Hogan, my main man Monty Early, previous guest of the show. Happy Born Day, bro. I want to say happy Born Day to the White Blackman as well. My ex-work wife, Benita Evans, who celebrated on yesterday. Happy Born Day, B. To my man, Steve Marshall, another former guest. Happy Born Day, fam. Salute. Want to say happy Born Day to Mia, my man, my girl, Jamisha, and my man, Corey, daughter, sister Iris from Delivering Jesus Coming, my girl, Shelly Winters, um, Jordan, my girl Lorna son as well. I want to say happy Born Day to Maya, my cousins Philip and Jackie daughter as well. My man Caddy, who celebrated his born day on the day. Salute, happy Born Day, Caddy, my high school running back. Nia Lawson, my sister, my friend, the great maestro himself, Kevin Bond, Joey Givens, my girl, I love you, who's on, helped me get this show started, as well as my cousin Michael Postal as well. Happy Born Day to you guys. I want to say congratulations and happy celebration of being cancer free. To let me see, I'm sorry, y'all, I gotta put my glasses on. Juan, no, my man Tyrone, my girl Tori brothers, as well as I want to say happy Born Day to Julian, who's been on the last couple of shows. Julian and his wife celebrating 5 years. Happy anniversary to you guys. My man Jamal and his wife, Superstar, happy Born Day. And last but not least, definitely my man Rodney Rock and my sister Leah celebrating 18 years of marriage. Um, Happy Born Day to you guys as well. And you guys know I love you guys and the fam. Just keep on rocking out, keep on supporting each other, keep on holding each other down. Let's see. What's good, La? You got to get that rescheduled date happening, popping when you gonna pop up again. What's good, Noel? How are you this evening? Ed, my boy Ed, my girl Janelle, who's normally chiming in on the show. Welcome, you guys. We got our freestyle show on this week. You know what I'm saying? My condolences to Alpo. I hate to say it, but they finally got him. Alpo passed away on Sunday. So condolences to him and his family. And happy anniversary to you all and birthday wishes. Thanks, Tamika. Thanks for tuning in for a quick minute before it's bedtime. I appreciate the love and the support, girl. Definitely, we gonna make that happen. I might hit you up after the show is over tonight. So we can see when we gonna make that happen sometime this month. So I put on in there who what we on one of the topics that we're gonna talk about on this freestyle show, being the first of the month. Um, there's different things that I wanted to kind of cover. Just go over real quick. Um, Noel, stop it. Uh, um, all right, so we I put in the comment the whole thing about uh in the comment about the pre-show announcement about the keeping of the last name. It was a group that I'm in. It was a funny post to me. And it's funny to see how all the women are chiming in saying that they kept the name for different various reasons. It wasn't no big deal and things of that nature. So we're gonna get into my response to that question, that particular question, and we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Alpo, who Alpo was for those that don't know. Um, what else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk a little bit about loyalty. Death of Alpo made me think about that there, a little bit about loyalty. But it's the first of the month freestyle show. I'm waiting to hear from my girl, um, Nicole. She said she wanted to chime in on this one. Like she wanted to put her in, coach. So I sent her the link. So I'm gonna see if she's gonna come in and join me and be a part of this show here. Um, I'm all over the place. I meant to write all this stuff down. People, please forgive me. I meant to write all this stuff down to see exactly where it was that I wanted to start from in particular. But with that being said, as usual, if you don't mind, share the show to your page so your friends can see as well. And if you haven't already, because I can see who has and who hasn't, but if you haven't already, please go and sign into YouTube and subscribe to the Marvin Bennett Jr. Show on YouTube, and you're able to watch previous shows, comment, and get your feedback on. I'm trying to grow that, trying to grow the YouTube channel, so eventually we can go straight to the YouTube channel where it won't be on Facebook, and I don't have to worry about being as censored, so to speak. Because when I upload the different shows, Facebook has different um, privacy issues and certain words or get you put in jail and all this other kind of stuff. So I want to be able to go to the YouTube format that way we can be a little bit more free. You don't have to worry about being censored like normal. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the Marvin Bennett Jr. Show. And I want to do that also. That way, once we get our viewership up, our subscription up, our membership, our viewership up, hopefully we'll be able to get monetized doing the show. Of course, like when I said in the beginning, I didn't start this show out to make no money. That was not the sole purpose, anything like that there. But if we're doing it and we can make some money in the process, why not benefit from it? You know what I mean? Because the feedback that I've been getting from everyone is that we've been having some good topics on here. We've been having some good conversations. It's been good vibes, nothing but loves, laughter, education, you know what I mean, and realness. So, let's take this to the masses, you know what I mean? So even as you guys subscribe to the channel, I ask that you share with your friends like, hey, listen, I know about this cool show. Let's broaden the horizons a little bit. And then anything that you donate, because I do have the Cash App on the YouTube channel, the Cash App information on the YouTube channel, which is $ Marvin Bennett Marvin Bennett, the number 10. Um, no number sign, just Marvin Bennett 10. For those that want to donate, be a blessing to the show, be a blessing to the vision. Like I told you guys before when I mentioned the Cash App, one of the reasons that I don't do it because I don't like necessarily asking for money, so to speak. But even the Bible tells us that a closed mouth doesn't get fed. You have not because you ask not. So, you know, in that vein, I'm asking you guys if the show's a blessing to you, if you support the show, if you rock with the show, Cash App $1 here, $5, whatever it is that you want to give. And I promise you guys, I give you guys my word that everything that you donate toward the show is going back to the show, whether it be for cameras, whether it be for microphones, whether it be for headphones, whatever the case may be. But I want this thing to look very professional and up to date and all that there again also before we go to the masses on YouTube. So, please I ask you guys for your monetarily support, not just your words of encouragement and everything else, but all you guys in general. Um, so with that being said, let's see. We got some more comments. People still commenting on the pre-show announcement. So I guess we will start there. Well, no, because I feel like once we get it there, once I open up that bag, we're gonna be there for a minute. Um, But Alpo, for those that don't know, Alpo was a kingpin in Harlem, New York. He was gunned down this weekend, Saturday, actually, Saturday morning, Halloween. And Alpo was a guy like different people have different perspectives. He's looked at like a folklore. The movie Paid in Full was kind of based off of his story, things of that nature. Cameron played the role of Alpo in that particular movie. And at the end of the day, I mean, he did what he did as far as the streets, but you know, my philosophy is a snitch is a snitch, regardless of who you telling on. You told on somebody, so But at the end of the day, it's still a loss of life. So my condolences to his family and whatnot, those that his loved ones and those that are going through. We're gonna suffer that loss. Um, let's see. Okay, so that's in response to Nikki. So I just wanted to hit on him for a little bit, but Alpo, he makes me think about loyalty, and we're gonna get into that on another show and everything like that there, because it seems like that word has been coming up lately a lot on the show when we've been doing different shows over the course of the last few months, last few weeks. A lot of people have been talking about loyalty, what is loyalty, and things of that nature there. But it's just. It's one of those things that's tricky to me, because like what is loyalty to you guys, and what is your loyalty start? What is your loyalty stop? How far will you go with your loyalty? Is your loyalty lifetime? Like everybody has a different definition of what loyalty is, and I'm kind of curious about what you guys feel, how you guys feel about loyalty, and also we celebrated. Well, we didn't celebrate, but I would say I didn't celebrate, but Halloween was on Sunday as well this past weekend. Um, so, I kind of wanted to see how you guys felt about Halloween. I know a lot of the viewers are per se Christians or Muslim. Some don't have any religious affiliation, but I wanted to see how you guys felt about celebrating Halloween. In churches they got the Hallelujah night instead of Halloween night, things of that nature. There, wanted to see how some of you guys felt about it, because we're going to be doing a future show. I got to get with my brother Kevin to see when he want to do it. But Kev and maybe somebody else, but we're going to be chiming in on that. Should we celebrate these holidays, not just Halloween, but Thanksgiving as well, Christmas as well, Easter? Should we celebrate these holidays, so to speak, knowing or having knowingly knowing what the birth or the origin, the genesis of where some of these holidays have come from. Like it is, again, there's no judgment, but it just baffles me how many times we see people celebrate. Well, I celebrate this, well, I won't celebrate that, based off of the connotation of what they all are. Let me get back to these comments here. Open it up. I'm sleepy. My bad, mate. I don't know what that is, Eric and Janelle. What's good with you? Do I have bad service? Anybody else? Screen frozen? Am I frozen on you guys? Let's see. Tamika says loyalty. Let me get back to that. Loyalty doesn't necessarily mean I have to agree with people's shenanigans. If I'm loyal to you, then I'm gonna tell you when I think you are right or wrong. Absolutely, Tamika, I agree with that 100%. Like, and that's another thing. Like loyalty and respect, there's kind of synonymous, but they're two different things. But if you're loyal to someone, I think that you would definitely respect them. But it's the same way. Rochelle says I don't celebrate Halloween because that's how it became, the whole history behind it. Okay. A lot of people saying no with Halloween, and it's like I know where my brother Kevin stands on it. Like I said, we're gonna talk about it on. Like I said, his loyalty is fleeting. Absolutely, it's not what it used to be. That's for sure. Or people not what they used to be, for sure. That's what it is. And it's like I see a lot of people saying no to Halloween. Erica Janelle says Halloween is a lot less evil than Christmas. Is it? But is it though? When we go back to the history of why both was started, and the premise and the foundation of them, is Halloween less than, I see a lot of people say that because we associate Halloween with death and ghosts and monsters and demons and the devil and all that did. But again, I feel like that was something that we was brainwashed and taught to believe in. And just because we was taught that Christmas celebrates the life of Jesus, I always say that. My birthday is October 18th. I would have a problem with if you guys, after I was dead and gone, if you guys celebrated my born day every June. Like I wasn't born in December. So it's like we take a lot of these holidays and we put our spin on it to make it fit or feel comfortable. You know, prime example is like the pictures that half our grandmothers had in their houses growing up with Jesus on the wall, next to in between Martin Luther King and whoever. And it's like, we look at the life of Jesus. Jesus was not white. So where did this picture come from? Where did this portrait come from? It was something that was fed to us and we adapted. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these traditions are the same way. They say we celebrate the birth of Jesus, but what about the Christmas tree? Where does that come from? The rituals that these people were during the month of December. Why we give gifts instead of, you know what I mean? I hear with the spin that everybody puts on them, but we're gonna do a whole show on that, and I kind of want you guys to chime in. So be ready for that there and do your homework, and then let's see if some of these answers are still the same. Let's see. They added God and stuff to pagan rituals to make them acceptable. Absolutely, that's my whole point. Julian says, "What's good, Jewel? I just gave you and the wifey a born anniversary shout out. What's good, bro?" Jew says, "Bro, you can't be a Christian and show me if a lie, kill or cheat. You take to the scriptures. Then we celebrate. Then you celebrate all these other things like Christmas and whatever else. I ask you to show me in the scriptures. You can't wake up because it's not there. We're not supposed to be doing it." I'm with you, Jew. I'm with you. I think that, me personally, I think that the celebration of the life of Jesus and Christmas should be two completely different things. As a Christian, I think that they should be absolutely completely different, separated because they are not one and the same. Tamika says, "I don't talk religion, but Jesus is not white. We celebrate these holidays because that's what we were taught." Exactly, that's my whole point. And just because we were taught something or brainwashed to believe something doesn't make it actual or factually true or give it a basis just because that's what we learned. I have a big saying that I always say like that. Sometimes learned behavior has to be unlearned. A lot of things that we learned growing up, from our concept of what a real woman is to what a real man is, based off of who our grandparents were, all those things did. Just because that's what a real man is to us, there is no such thing as a real man, a real woman, a real, you know what I mean? A father, well, a mother's love would do this and that did. But you got mothers that sold their kids away for drugs to get high and all that did. That doesn't make them a real mother. So, we got all these different things and connotations. Like your mother, at the end of the day, your mother is your mother, your father is your father. It is what it is. But based off of the way that we were raised to believe, how many times do we actually question these processes and these thoughts that we actually go through? And I like to think that I'm a person that challenges things that I was taught my whole life to see if they still hold up and hold up to be true, or hold up, something don't add up. And when I think about Christmas, when I think about Thanksgiving, those are two of those different things. Now, am I not gonna go to somebody's house and eat? Absolutely not. I'm gonna go eat and fellowship, but it's not even with Christmas. I've never participated in, even with my boys, I never participated in the whole doing the Christmas tree and the lighting and all that kind of stuff there. I think I did it twice maybe when they were younger kids. But then after they got older, 6 and 7 and whatnot, I let them know, if that's what you and your guys' mother want to do, then that's fine. I'm not gonna tell you that you can't do it in my house or whatever the case may be. I'm just not gonna be a part of it. So I'm gonna be sitting here watching a movie or something while y'all do what y'all do, because I choose not to believe, but I would tell them why I don't celebrate Christmas the way that everybody else traditionally does. Eric says the Bible literally says not to put a tree in your house and adorn it with silver and gold. Yet we putting Christmas trees up in our house. Exactly. And I would even take it a step farther. Sometimes you go in these churches and you see Christmas trees in the church. You know what I mean? But again, to each his own. But again, Jude, like you asked about what's in the Bible, what's not in the Bible. That's clearly in the Bible when it talks about Christmas and the tassel and the what do they call it? Decorations, I guess. All that stuff is not of a godly representation in its origin. You know what I mean? And even the Bible talks about that. You can't take something that's unholy and make it holy just because you do. So, like I said, we're gonna do a whole show on that. So I'm looking forward to you guys chiming in on that one as well. And Karen want to get in here on that one because one of our friends that posted that, like, as for me in my house, we don't celebrate Halloween, but they celebrate Christmas and everything else just based off their Christian values. And I'm like, whoa, let's look at the whole. I want to dissect this whole thing. So I kind of wanted to hit on that guy and let you guys make you guys aware that we're gonna do that. Okay, 6 minutes. Let's get to the back. All right, Miko, we get you here 4.5 minutes in now before you go to bed on the last name whole scenario. The Bible, Jennifer says the Bible tells us not to do a lot of things, but we do it anyway. So what is it about the tree that makes anything scripture make search the scripture? That's making us search the scripture. For me personally, again, Jen, for me personally, it's the origin. Why is it that we do what we do? You know what I mean? And to me, that's not a good enough excuse that what the Bible tells us not to do this here, but we still do that there. So again, that that's it's all go back to a personal thing. But as for me and mine, it's like if it tells me not to do it, it tells me not to do it. I don't care what kind of spin that you put on it. What's good, Jackie? I'm a man Sam doing. Drew said touching Alpo, it was bound to happen. You ate good, had some of the best women, best clothes, best cars. Then you got caught. You want to tell on others. You got people killed, got people on jail sentences because you got locked up. I think the feds should take away giving breaks to rats. You get captured, pay the price. Pipe. You see, people did not forget all the way he did. Yo, Drew, that's what I said. And I'm never bigging up somebody, but my private conversations, Drew, to your point, I'm surprised it took him this long to get touched. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, a rat is a rat. I don't care whether you talking about Frank Lucas, whoever. Talking about I just snitched on the police. You telling is you telling. That's again, we talked about that on the previous show too. When it comes to snitching, that's if you in that particular lifestyle. That doesn't apply for everyday regular people, but people that's in the game, a snitch is a snitch. Which is why John Gotti is still John Gotti. He the last time because John, like I ain't telling on nobody. Um, we do what we do because we were programmed. Nature versus nurture. We tend to follow what society does. Exactly, Tamika, and that's my whole point. Like, when do we get to the point where we know that these things, like we've been taught this? Okay, well, Big Mama told me how to do this here and that there. But when do we question ourselves to ask why we do these different things, and should we continue to do them once we have knowledge? That's the saying: if you know, you know. If you know better, you should do better. So why do we continue to learn these different things or these different fallacies, but yet and all we still choose to celebrate these different things? That's my overall main question. Jennifer says people lie, cheat, fornicate, use profanity, kill, etc. Still, but we pick and choose what to follow and what not to follow according to whether we want to participate in certain things or not. Hmm. And that's my whole point. It's funny how, and we see preachers say that a lot of times. You can take the scripture and form your opinion however you want to, but I don't think that we should. Again, if I'm not gonna lie and cheat, I'm not gonna do all the other things that I felt comfortable with doing over the years too. But that's just my opinion. Once I get personal knowledge of self and understanding where these practices come from, because I look at it like this as a Christian, which means somebody having a relationship with Christ. I wonder how does that feel? Like me saying that I love him and I live for him, and he dishonest. He does not. He looks down upon these different things. But yet, and all I'm saying that I represent him in this particular realm of time. But yet, no, he frowns upon it. So, is that a conflict of interest? I have two. I have two this year. Eric Janelle says my personality. I personally, I try to adhere. I put up a tree up in my house. Laugh aloud is going up tonight. Some people do bit. Some people do bit but when we do, we are looked at as the problem. Remember, people tend to go with the crowd and what they absolutely, Tamika, and that's the problem. I guess that's why um, I am who I am, because I really don't care what people say or what the people think or what the crowd say, what the clique think. I'm gonna do what Mars do, and I really could care less if you love me less afterwards or you love me more afterwards. Like it don't make a difference to me. I got to live my truth. You know what I mean? I don't live to please people. When I say I'm one of them people that really don't care what others think, I really don't care. It doesn't move me one way or another, and I make no apology. You took the words right out of my mouth to me. I make no apologies for it either. Yo, high five. I'm with you, sis. Like, cause I'm the same exact way. I'm not making no apologies for nothing, but at the end of the day, I respectfully agree to disagree sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's not going to change who I am or my view based off of what everybody else does or what I was raised to believe or what I was taught. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. That's not how I'm built. Thanks for sharing too, Tamika, as well. Um, so the whole post. Should a woman keep the last name? Let's see. We get back down to that one. Judy Melvin said, Tamika said, I'm gonna be asleep, but I kept my married last name for no specific reason. What's good, Danielle? And congratulations on the last name change, on the name change, Miss Lady. Salute to Danielle tuning in. Danielle said, I kept my married name, but just married second time around, so I have to change it. Is is that really an issue these days? For some, yes, it is, myself included. But I see a lot of women don't necessarily feel that way. I kept my name. I kept my married. Judy says I kept my married name because I didn't care one way or the other. After a few years, I wanted to go back to my maiden name for my independence and growth. So I asked my children, then teenagers, if they would mind, and they said no. We wondered why you kept it anyway. Absolutely. The code says we earn this little raggedy ass name. Please knock it off. Add me to the show. I tried to add you, Nick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see if still waiting to see if you were able to come in and be a part of the conversation. Let's see what else. What else we got here? Uh, Sophia Rogers. What's good, Sophia? Sophia said if she wants to. Sherry says she may need her married name, but I will go back to my maiden name. Kenny says, "What's good, bro? How the family doing, man?" Kenny says she would keep her married name because my boys would want to keep the same last name. Okay, that's one for the fellas saying that. Let's see who else is up here. I think that's all of them on that particular post. All right, so I'm about to come back to the live. Let's see. Yep. Why would you want to? I'm thinking about keeping my maiden name if I ever get married. Good for you, Jay. Hey, listen, I'm not changing my last name. That mess costs a lot. Says Tamika. Unless you're Tina Turner, I say give it back to the dude. Uh, that's what Rochelle says. What's good, Rochelle? Um, and then I see a lot of the women. We've heard that they've earned the name. They have a right to it. It's their option. It's their choice. All right, so you guys know that I'm divorced. you know, but when you go to the divorce court and you go do the separation and all that there, when the judge got to me, he asked me, he said, is there anything that you want from the marriage? And that was the only thing that I asked for. Simply, listen, she got to come up off that name. And I hear what all you guys saying. I respect your point of view, but listen, this is the way I see it. It's only one reason that you have that particular last name. So if we and that's because you're my wife because we're married. That's how you got that last name. If we are no longer married, then that name is no longer yours. And I made sure the judge let me know and was like, I remember her asking me like, "Are you serious?" I'm dead serious. Like, there's only one reason that you got that name. So no, you got to come up off that name. If we no longer married, you're not having that. I don't want to hear nothing about the same last name as your kids and it costs this here. I don't care about none of that. You coming up off my name and we ain't together no more. And that's just me. I stand 10 toes down. I know a lot of you guys don't agree with it, You got to change everything. I keep it, especially if my kids had the same last name. Says Erica Janelle. If you don't ask the judge or don't tell the judge, it ain't happening. Okay, exactly. That's why I made sure I put it out there. Like, no, that name got to come up off that name, baby girl. Um, would it really bother you that she would want to keep your name? Absolutely, Jennifer. That's my whole point. Yes. Again, I stick by what I say. And I had a lot of friends that was like, "Come on, man. Man, yo, what about the boys and all that?" The boys' last name ain't changing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, who cares if you got two different names? You know what I mean? Whether you, as a parent, as a child, or whatever the case may be. Think about how many fathers that aren't married that they take on the children automatically. That's not even a conversation where they automatically take the mother last name and not the father's last name, which is backwards to me as well. So you know what I mean? It ain't about you all having the same last name. But for me, to answer your question, yeah, for me, Jennifer, for me personally, for Marvin Bennett, yeah, it absolutely matters to me. And it is that big of a deal to me. Like, no, again, I stand by what I say. The only reason you have that last name is because you are my wife. You married me. If we are no longer married, you no longer have access to that name. We talked about access to the phone last week. I don't feel like you have access to the name no more once we go on. And then you get to just keep my last name. And then when you get to remarry, you got to change the last name again anyway. So I don't see what the big deal is. No, spend that money. I don't care what it is. Some mothers don't give their children their father's last name because their father is not in the picture. That's a good point. Again, but if it's about the last name, that children supposed in my opinion, they supposed to take on the father's last name. So if you know who that father is, whether he in the picture or not, like I feel like that should be that child's last. That should be that last name. But I understand why people do what they do. I'm not saying there's no right or wrong, but I'm just saying for me, no, I don't care about all of that bit. But it's funny how, like, when it comes to that, they like say when you talking about non-marriage, well, they're gonna take my son is gonna have the mother's like my son's gonna have my last name or whatever the case may be. When the father, he might get some. I know some fathers that are in their children lives that their child don't have their last name. So that argument don't hold up with me. My son, Jennifer says my son has his father's last name. We were never married. Good for you, Jennifer. I applaud you on that because that's very rare. And this is some others don't. Okay, I already read that one. Tamika says, "Hey, listen, we can chop it up some real lie. When I went through what I went through, I don't want the last name. Eventually, I'm moving on and will remarry. I don't want that man to have any hold on me at all." Hey, I feel you. I feel you there, girl. I feel you there. Yeah, and I don't even know all that you've been through. I just know you went through, and I felt for you when you were going through it. So I definitely feel that, and I feel like it should go both ways, though. You know what I mean? Um, like whether it's a bad experience, you don't want that name. Whether it was a good experience, I feel like the same way you should want that name. If you moving on, move on. You know what I mean? You came in with nothing. You leave with nothing. You leave what you came with. And that's your last name included. Um, Julia said, "Bro, that's a very deep topic. It's a reason why she takes your last name. Surely the last name goes away when one dies, but that's another form." Absolutely, Drew. I'm with you there. Noel said, "My son has his father's last name, and he was deceased at the time. It was his right to have it and honor." I see. That's what I'm talking about, Noel, because it's mad other people that I know a lot of sisters. I ain't about to call no names, but they on that 999 because he hurt my feelings. My child ain't having his last name. He ain't gonna be no. And it's like, yo, stop it, yo. He ain't do nothing to that kid. He ain't hurt that child. He hurt your feelings, like you said. You know what I mean? So don't make that child suffer. I'm gonna just keep my maiden name. I can't have nobody just snatching their name back. I ain't snatching nothing. You gonna give it back. Eric Janelle. I'm not snatching name. I'm just telling you, you go get that name back. But yeah, I kind of like I said, the post. Not saying the post. I said, this might make a good topic for the freestyle show. I kind of wanted to hit on that a little bit. Some people keep it for spite. And that's what we not gonna do, Tamika. That's my whole point. That's what we not gonna do. You know what I mean? Ain't no spite going on here. You know what I mean? Because just because you can or you feel you got a right to die, bro, it don't work like that over here. Like you wanted to be done, then me done with all of me. That's including my name. How about that? Um, tell the truth and shame the devil. Absolutely. Noel said I took my name back after my 6 month marriage. Hell, my last name and my people important too. Yeah, I definitely understand that too, Noel. And if you call me Tamika, my bad toe, Mika, Mika O. I just told somebody. I said, "Hey, look, you since you fan, but it's been a while, long time since I got punished. I'm looking for a good spanking." I told one of my friends that this week. I'm trying to get in trouble with you, to me. Told me, me. How about we just keep it at me? If his son carries his last name, that's great because the son will carry the father's last name. Absolutely, and they come from you guys, but let's keep it real. It's that seed. You got a flower and you got a seed. It's all of that. I Noel, and you know good well. I don't never call you Noel. I always say Noel. Yeah. So I see how you guys feel on it, but and of course, as usual, my opinion or my thoughts is a little always usually different than everybody else. But that's why I love it because we have difference of opinions, but you guys still love me and I still love you guys, and we still rock the same. It doesn't change the love, or it shouldn't change the love just because we choose to disagree or we see different things a certain way. Another thing before we got up out of here, I wanted to hit on was I was watching. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I remembered. So for all you guys that's on Netflix and haven't seen it yet, please check out the Colin Kaepernick documentary, his little show, whatever. It is excellent in my opinion. My personal opinion is very excellent. Rochelle says, I'm sorry. I personally feel like it's a father is not a is not in their child's life. That child should not carry that father's last name. Okay, and that's your right to feel that way. And way to represent down here. I seen you at the Battle of the Bands in North Carolina this weekend too, girl. Thanks for sharing the videos. We be serious. Now, if I gotta give him his last name back, he gonna say my name, right? Yeah, but the Colin Kaepernick thing, man. Please check that out. It's a good docu series that they got on Netflix. And one of the lines in the movie, they kind of did a visual of something that I've been saying for years on how the NFL is like modern day slavery. Um, and people like, man, you crazy? They make millions of dollars. It doesn't matter. It's still the slavery and the slave masters mentality as far as the combine and how you get drafted for these different teams. And you're a piece of property, not an individual. They can move you whenever they want to and fight. It's crazy to me. Like, but it's the same exact thing. It's just that money is being made out of it. And we want to keep it real in this particular country here. Slavery has made the most money out of any business there is. Oh yeah, it was amazing. Colin documentary got some bad reviews. I don't understand why. Because, like he said, he said it in I think I forgot what episode, but he talked about the white man approval. A lot of times when you put truths out there, people don't want to always hear the truth. They want to hear what they've been told and what they know. Rochelle, exactly, Rochelle. You know why? Uh, I love our Rough Riders family. I love you all. Good night. Hey, thanks for tuning in again, girl. Thanks for spending some time with us before you went to bed. Sweet dreams. Have a good one. Love you too, Noel. Reviews were bad from some blacks. Yeah, Uncle Tom. That's what that was. But he talks about this thing, and he had a visualization. But one of the things that it made me want to talk about on this particular show here, or run by you guys, is a part in there where the father talks about he need to cut his hair because he looks like a thug. All right. So first of all, that word thug, it carries different definition and meaning from whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're male, female, 20 versus 50. You know what I mean? That word means a lot of different things to different people. But it's like, you want to, he said, you don't want to, with that hair, you look like a thug and you want to look professional. So it made me ask myself, and I was like, I kind of wanted to run by you guys. We was all taught that, if there's a way that you talk when you want to get a job, there's a certain look that you do, a certain way that you dress when you're going for a job and all that things there. And my question was, when we talk about if you want a part, you got to look the part. Sorry, you got to dress for the part that you're looking for or the part that you want. And my thing is, what about authenticity? When does me owning my own merit come into play? Like, just think about it. You look the part, you look professional, but you're very unprofessional. But you got that look. It doesn't validate the fact that you're professional just because you look a certain type of way. So my point is, just because you look like what someone else labels you as a thug or hood or ghetto, whatever the case may be, it doesn't mean that I could be 10 times a better CEO than you just based off the way that I look. That was one of the reasons why coming up, I used to always respect Russell so much because Russell was the president of Def Jam, but you very rarely seen Russell in a suit and tie, even when he would see him at the White House or at these big events. Russell was in a pair of jeans and some sneakers and a sweater or a shirt or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna show you, I'm one of you guys, I'm a major player, but I'm not gonna change the way I look. I'm gonna dress the way that I want to dress, look the way that I want to look, just based off and I know a lot of you guys say, well, he's Russell Simmons, he has all the money, he can dress however he wants to, things of that nature there. But again, back to like the holidays, where does this learned behavior or these things that we were taught, where does it switch over? We start to think for ourselves and say, you know what, I'm gonna go on and show these people I can do the job. It doesn't matter whether I have a tie on or not. Now, it's one thing if that's part of the dress code and it's part of the hiring process for that particular job. But I'm talking about just just in general, going for interviews and things of that nature. There, I ain't talking about wearing a uniform or wearing a particular a dress code, following a particular dress code once you get hired on as a company. But why do you have to look this certain part as opposed to just showing what you're capable of and what you bring to the table? Jennifer says with the dress shirt and sweater vest. Hey, watch it now. I still wear dress shirts and sweater vest, but it's not because I'm trying to get a job or that's what people think I should do. It's because that's what I like to do. You know what I mean? Do it because that's what I want to do. I'm not going to do it because, well, I got to go get this. I'm going to get this job. So let me cut my hair and, you know what I mean? Let me go in the closet and get the best thing that I got. No, I'm not, me personally, I'm not going through all of that. No, I'm not doing all of that. But it made me think. I just wonder how some of you guys felt about that there. Again, back to the, just different things that we learned. Even with you see some of the pros. I remember hearing watching the game. My godbrother was like that. Yeah, that was Russ. Russ, he represented. It's like, yo, and he got money. He's still doing it. I always respected Russ for staying true to who he was. He said he wasn't gonna let the culture or society change who he was as a man, and he's gonna still be a CEO and all that kind of things. There, I respect that. And don't forget the baseball cap because he always had a baseball cap on too. Not no top hat or not no, nice hat, $500 red bottom joint that everybody wearing now. He rocked his style. But yeah, let's see. What I had saying something else come up here. Yes. Yeah, but it just made me think. I wonder how often do we think of that? Um, it's like how often do we dumb ourselves down to everything that we have faced as a people? How often do we dumb ourselves down or just a certain part or act a certain way for, as Colin said in the show, the white man's approval? It's sad. Even when you go to get a house, it's still, no matter what facet you're talking in life, you need some white man's stamp of approval. And that's sad to me, whether you're in a bank, you're a loan from the bank, you're going to buy a house, whatever the case may be. Why is it that in 2021 this is still a thing? So again, me and my brother Kev, we talked about it on a previous show as well. You always say, the system is broken. No, the system is not broken. And I've been saying that since high school. The system is not broke. The system is working the exact way it was designed to work. And it's designed to keep a certain people back. And I won't go as far as say just black people, because I lived in Little Rock, Arkansas. I seen just as many white people, poor whites, going through some of the same things. And in my personal experience, it was like, to me, it almost looked like the regular whites, so to speak, would look down upon the poor whites more than they would as they did the black people, because they couldn't understand how is it that you're white, but with everything that you've been given just because you were born white, you still losing. You still not winning. You embarrassment to us as a race. Like it was a real thing. It was a real thing, and it still is in the deep south. Let me see. I did it to get the job here. Was in Carol's nice dress. Once I was hired, I did my 2 cornrows, the Afro puffs. What could you do now? That's a good question. Uh, that's a good, and that's I guess that's the whole question. I mean, that's the whole point. Me personally, I'm saying I don't know. I like to say I don't have a price. So whatever I feel like wearing that particular day, either you're gonna give me the job or you're not. You know what I mean? My answers are gonna be the same to the question that you did to the interviewer. No matter what I got dressed on, whether I got on Tim's or whether I got on Stacey Adams, my answers are gonna be the same. So why does my appearance matter so much? As long as I can get a job done, as an entrepreneur, if I was an entrepreneur, that would be my main concern. Can you or can you not get the job done that I'm hiring for? That's the only thing that I'm really worried about. Let's see. Okay, yeah. And I understand that I had someone comment to me that they kept their last name for many different business reasons, and they got corporations and different entities. So it's not as always as simple as I make it out to be, but you know that would definitely be something that would have to be a bridge that we would have to cross when we came to it. You know, again, I don't look at anyone any different. Rochelle says it's like we're trying to fit the image that we think that they want to see in order for us to get to where we want to be. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, you know what? They're gonna still go home. They're gonna still talk about you to their family. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of what you got on, like you're still gonna be the topic of the conversation. So why not be your authentic self? That's just my thing. That's not a judgment. That's just a food for thought, a rhetorical question. Jennifer says, if I was the employee doing the hiring, it would not matter what someone looks like, but being that I was the one that was going to be hired high, I had to play the game. Had to play the game. I understand that. I understand what you said, Jennifer. Like I said, that's no judgment. That's no shade, no nothing. I totally get you. The only thing is it's a system. We have we have been all been programmed a certain way, and that's what they look for. Even when they find one, they still can't do the job the judge a book by its cover. It's absolutely whack. And at the end of the day, guess what? I look at you as a loser, not me, because you could have had something nice. You could have had a good employee, somebody to take you over the top, but you chose wrong. It's like the pimp game. Hey, you chose wrong. Yeah, but I have the job now. So you back to the cornrows now, huh, Jay? Who says it exactly? Erica Janelle says they can dress how they want, but if they stink, I might not. I might not put them in the top of the list. I guess I'm programmed. Yeah, I just want to be like Martin Luther King said in his speech, or whatever. Just when do we get to the point where we judge each and every one by the content of their character? Nothing more, nothing less. That's the way I look at things. Um, Chad, we're gonna get out of here too. I'm just seeing a few more comments coming before we get out of here. We're gonna get out of here soon. Shut it down. But I thank you guys for being a part of the conversation. And thank you guys for all you guys' questions, answers and your comments and being a part of the show. It's always fun. I'm telling you, I really look forward to Tuesday nights and seeing you guys respond to some of these things. And thank you guys for the live. Everybody always telling me I'm silly and I have cracking up and things like that, but you guys really be having me laughing as well. So I really appreciate that. Then thanks to my girl Meek for tuning in for her bedtime. She's probably already dreaming, but I thank her for stopping by. You know what I mean? And staying even past her bedtime to be a part of the show. So I appreciate that. Man, and I really love you guys, man. I thank you guys for all your support, all your kind words, people that was just reaching out to me over the last week. Personally, I've been going through some things and was in a bad headspace. And, people tell me, well, I couldn't see it when I was watching the show. And I'm like, to God be the glory. That's the whole point, because I don't feel like you guys should have to endure or go through with me as I go through certain things, just because of the show and all that there. I make sure that I want to keep the show. Like, it's not about me at all. I've been saying that since the very first episode. Not about me at all. So, I'm glad that even though I might be going through my personal life or certain things in life, it doesn't reflect when we're doing the show. And that's important to me. To keep real, it will never be like what Marvin Luther King wanted to be like, because we apparently as people can't unite in order to enforce that to happen. Yeah, and the sad part about that, Rochelle, what you just said, and what we could go on and on about that is it won't come to pass because of what you said in the ad. Malcolm's philosophy. The combination of both. We can't even unite amongst ourselves, let alone with others. We're so divided in our own community and our own neighborhoods that you know why would they take it seriously? We can't even agree on what I'm saying, cleaning our own neighborhood up with different things, just different things, man. It's like I really wish that we get to a place where people could put their personal feelings and their personal religions and ideas and concepts down along together, and let's do what's best for the next generation. You know what I mean? Not about what we want or the way that we think the world should rotate and revolve. Not trying to bring that to pass in our own little way, but working together collectively for our children and our grandchildren, that they live in a better way. That hopefully, 6 generations from now, if God so be it and the world is still going on, they reading about what racism was, because it's no longer a thing. You know, to me that would be a beautiful thing. But half of that starts with us coming to agreement, saying, listen, man, we're going to agree to disagree, but these are the commonalities that we could agree upon, and let's start there. You know what I mean? Let's start there with what we actually can agree upon. Like, put our personal business aside, because no one that was ever born has all the answers. No one. No one has the answers to all the questions. So none of us and none of our concept of what a perfect world would be fits any of the other billion people that's on the earth. You know what I mean? I mean, there might be some similarities, but it's not going to be pitch perfect for anyone. No two ideas are alike. That's why we all, even twins, we all have different fingerprints. You know what I mean? Because we all have different mindsets. All have different ways of thinking and how we see things. So that's never going to change. But how do we could find that common ground on the things that we can agree upon and build on those things? That's what I want to see us do. You know what I mean? Um, okay. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Um, get you some desserts, some snacks, watch you some good TV or whatever the case may be. And hope, yeah, that's another thing I want to do on uh the first of the month freestyle show for December. Maybe we could talk about some things that people been watching and some of you guys different favorite shows and things of that nature there. You know, what you guys are into. It'll be coming up on the Christmas season. I know a lot of people already, like they said, they putting up their trees tonight and ready. People playing Christmas music already. This is November 1st, things of that nature. So, you know, let's see. I want to hear some of you guys' favorite shows and things of that nature there. And if you get a chance, please go again and check out that Colin Kaepernick joint. It's pretty informative. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Because you know, everybody we all have ideas, but we don't know what it's like to go through what somebody's going through, or what it was like to walk in their shoes and different things there to be a black kid. I don't, as a kid growing up in Newark, I don't have no idea what it's like to be a black kid living in a white community with white parents that adopted me. I have no idea. I have no idea what his reality was like growing up and the different things that he had to face. I like to see, you know, diversity of different people's backgrounds and everything like that there because true indeed. Not even all of us from North have the same background and backdrop story, you know. So I like to hear these different stories and at the end of the day, take away what we can to help all of us grow and kind of say, you know what, you know, I did used to see things that way there, but I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong for looking at things that way just because I was taught or I learned that behavior, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like let's continue to evolve and let's continue to grow. Um, and we're gonna be back next week. Next week we're gonna have Arthur Sharonette Smart on with us. Various different things. One of the things we're gonna talk about her as an author. We're gonna be talking about the reason why we should be ready or set up when we lose a parent or we lose, make sure our kids are being taken care of, things of that nature. She might get into a little bit of her testimony. So I ask you guys that you definitely tune in and check that out next week with Arthur Sharon Smart. She's going to be on with us next Tuesday night. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. Please, please, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's the Marvin Bennett Jr. Show on YouTube. And start watching some of the old shows so we can get some of those numbers going. And like I said, hopefully we can monetize on that things. And again, anybody that wants to donate to the show, you can send donations to on Cash App to $Marvin Bennett 10. And I greatly appreciate you guys for your support. Thank you guys for rocking out with us and helping this thing turning it. You know, we're going a year and a half strong. Like for one, I never seen imagine doing this at all in my wildest dream, but to be past that year mark and still going strong and you guys rocking with me and supporting me and loving me and just man, it feels good. It feels good. I don't even want to get emotional and talk about it too much, but I truly appreciate you guys, and I thank you for taking these hours out your night just to spend time with your boy. And it doesn't go without saying that it's unnoticed. I love you guys. I thank you so much. With that being said, remember that each day that God allows us to see, He gives us two things. That's a chance and a choice. What are you going to do with the choice? What are you going to do with the chance? What choice are you going to make with the chance that He's giving you? And as usual, and signing off every week, DeAndre and Light should know that Daddy loves you intentionally, but I also love you unconditionally. So next week, love you guys. Peace.